very different in how they can count, what they're called. You know, I could take Physics 1 at one college, and it could be called Physics totally something different at the next college. So it really depends on what it is and how they're going to view it. BLS or basic courses, meaning your basic life support card, like your AHA cards, that doesn't count. Your ACLS and PALS cards, now they do count. This is something you need to think about with that, though. With AHA cards, now there's a way for training center coordinators and site coordinators to go in and actually say, this is the person's, their email, they took ACLS this day, and then send you the CAPCE certificate for that. The issue with people not having that, say I just have my ACLS card, okay, and I teach ACLS. So say someone came into me and said, I need to get ACLS. We take them through ACLS. They do the course. Great. They get the card. They put that on their certification. Wonderful. I never send this on for CE credit. They never have documentation of CE credit. Technically, the card doesn't count anymore. So they have to actually have the PDF that says CE credit from CAPCE through the AHA. I can't just have the card. So be aware of that if you're just using the card. Repeated CEs can only be used once during your certification cycle. So you can't have this course, you can't have the JP course going for 36 hours and say I took it 36 times, there's 36 hours. You can only take it once per cycle. That goes with any CE course. Okay, you can only take it once per cycle. I can't just say, oh, I took it 50 times. That's, well, I'm done. You have to take different things. Responsibilities for you. You're responsible for completing your own CE in the right amount of time and making sure that it meets the required content areas. If you do not, you're not going to be able to get your certification. They pretty much point blank put that on those pages. You need to keep your CE completion certificates for 5 years in case you are audited. So say that, it's year 4 and they come in and audit you. If you haven't kept it, you still technically can get in trouble for that. Okay, so 5 years, that's an important number to remember. If you're audited, you have to send this documentation to them within 30 days. Okay, if it's not within 30 days, there's going to be disciplinary actions. If you need an extension, if you are not able to find it, etc., you need to talk to them. Okay, don't on day 31 say, well, sorry, I couldn't find it. Be proactive in this. That always works out better for you just in life. 197.3 is talking about offline medical direction and medical control. So in this scenario, this is talking about whoever your medical director is. Say that you're transporting to a large hospital. You have to be able to have some sort of medical direction coming through. I can't just say, well, I can't get a hold of him, so I'm going to do a thoracotomy now. You have to actually have some sort of communication. You have to be able to try to get a hold of them. You have to be able to have someone that is board certified in emergency medical services, board certified in emergency medicine, able to obtain added qualifications, or has completed a Department of State Health Services approved EMS medical director course. Again, I can't just have, say I go to medical school today and I get out tomorrow and I say, hey, I'm a doctor now. I can't be your medical director all of a sudden. I have to actually take steps to do this, or else I wouldn't know what I'm telling you. And you could call me and say, hey, I want to do a C-section on these 4 women here, and I have some propofol and ketamine. Can I do that? If he says yes, it's still his license. He doesn't know what he can and cannot tell you. So they have to understand what they're able to do, what they're not able to do. You can't just have some random guy right out of medical school that says, well, I have MD behind my name. That means I can do whatever I want now. There are steps to take before they can be your medical director. And the provider's going to get in trouble if they sign someone on like that. They cannot offer offline medical direction to more than 20 EMS providers. Again, providers meaning services, first responder organization, etc., unless they get a waiver from the state. So regionally, let's say that we have 75 services and they're all under one regional system and they have a medical director team, right? One head medical director and then associate medical directors. That one cannot offer medical direction to all 75 services unless he has a waiver and there's a reason for that occurring. Because if that would be the case, we could technically all of a sudden have a state medical director. And Texas doesn't want that. That's why we have it set up like we do. We don't want one medical director for the whole state because every region, every area of Texas is different. Texas is a huge state. So I don't want people in Corpus having to do what they have to do, up in like El Paso or over in Tyler. We all have different ways of going about what we're doing. We all have different resources. They cannot have a suspended or revoked license. If that was not obvious before, their license cannot have been revoked. So you can't have a medical director that can't function as a physician giving you medical direction. Okay, if their license gets suspended or revoked, they all of a sudden are not your medical director anymore. You have to find a new one. They also can't be excluded from Medicare, Medicaid, or CHIP, because then you, as an extension of their license, could not take care of those patients and have your service billed for them. So they have to be able to be in the Medicare, Medicaid, and CHIP systems and have a valid and current license. Injury prevention and control is in 103. Chapter 103 of the Texas Administrative Code. This is talking about prevention and control of EMS providers, facilities. Really, it's trying to make sure that you as the EMS personnel, meaning EMTs and paramedics and advanced EMTs, as well as people walking into your station, any sort of lay people you have working for you, make sure everybody is safe, make sure there's injury prevention and control in place, making sure that confidentiality of our patients is important, that we're not just going to have random information out there for people to see. I can't have face sheets just laying on the counter, because if someone walks in randomly to visit us and say, hey, thanks for saving my life, here's a cake, they can't have access to that information. Okay, we have to make sure that all of that's contained, all of that's safe. We have to make sure that there are rules and systems in place to where if I get a needle stick, this is where all of that's being referred to, as well as reporting requirements. So trauma calls, say I run a level 1 trauma that's a gunshot wound and the guy doesn't make it. I can't have no documentation available there. I can't have them just coming back and saying, well, this happened. That's all I know about. I can't say anything else. So in these sections, main things to remember, you now know where to go and look. Okay, Department of State Health Services website, Texas Administrative Code, Health and Safety Code, all these different chapters. There's a lot to this. If you are ever in doubt, 1, seek legal advice from a lawyer. 2, look this up for yourself, because ignorance is not going to fly in the eyes of the state. And 3, make sure that the people that you're working with or working for are following these rules, or else you yourself can, as well as them, be held liable. Again, my name is Tyler Baines. Thank you for watching this presentation, and I hope that you understand the rules that govern EMS in this state a little bit better now.
This program is intended for the private use of health.edu subscribers. Any rebroadcast or redistribution without the express written permission of health.edu is prohibited.